Hello, my name is Lucinda Todd. I was born in the year 1903. I was born in the town of Litchfield, Kansas. There is nothing there anymore. It is north of Pittsburgh, Kansas. Litchfield used to be called Edwin. My parents were farmers. I got my education at Pittsburgh State University in Kansas and graduated with a Bachelor of Science. I was a teacher and taught in an all-black school in Topeka. I was one of the 13 people in the Brown versus Education Topeka landmark U.S. Supreme Court case to desegregate schools. I was the secretary of the Topeka NAACP, which brought the Legal Defense Fund to Topeka. NAACP stands for National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. During my life, I had one husband named Alvin and one daughter named Nancy. I died on July 17, 1996.
Hello, my name is Mabel Chase. I was born on April 15, 1876. I had no siblings. I got married to Franco Chase March 23, 1899. We moved from Charlottesville, Indiana to Haviland, Kansas. I had 2 sons and 2 daughters. We had 7 grandchildren and 13 great-grandchildren. I went to the Haviland Friends Church and I was a member of the Royal Neighbor Lodge. I was a school teacher. My other job was a sheriff and I was the first female sheriff in Kansas, and I was among the first women elected sheriff in the United States. I am buried in the Haviland Cemetery. I died at the age 86. I died on May 6, 1962.
Hello, my name is Walter Chrysler. I was born on April 2, 1875. I lived in Ellis, Kansas, which is near Hays, Kansas. I lived there most of my life. I had 2 siblings, and my family tree goes back to the Studebaker. My dad took me on a ride on a steam engine when I was a kid. I played the drums when I was a kid too. Some of my businesses are Chrysler, Jeep, and Maserati. I was the primary contractor for the Saturn 1B rocket. In a Chicago auto show, I helped take care of dogs with disabilities. I had 4 children and I founded Chrysler on June 6, 1925. Chrysler owns the Dodge, the car brand. The first Chrysler car was the Chrysler 6. My first job was delivering groceries, then my second job was janitor, then my third job was mechanic's apprentice, then my other job was manager for the American Locomotive Company. My wife's name is Della V. Forker. In 1919, I was one of the richest men in America. In 1928, the New York Times named me the Man of the Year. I died on August 18, 1940, Kings Point, New York, which was a sad day. I died of a hemorrhagic stroke at 65 years old.
Hello, my name is Ludi Lytle. I was born November 19, 1875. My parents were John R. and Mary Ann. I had 4 siblings. I lived in Topeka, Kansas. I went to Topeka High School. I loved it. Fun facts about me, Ludi Lytle. When I turned 28, I didn't own a business, but I did become a lawyer. I went to Tennessee and became the first African American woman allowed to practice the law. I returned to my hometown, remember, Topeka, Kansas, where I was the first African American woman admitted to the state bar. I married Alfred C. Cowan on January 3, 1901. After my husband's sudden death, I got married to Stephen Alexander McNeil. I died in New York, November 12, 1955, which was 7 days before my birthday.
Hello, my name is Dwight D. Eisenhower. I was born on October 14, 1890 in Texas. I had 3 siblings. We moved to Abilene, Kansas. When I was little, I played football and other sports. I graduated from Abilene High School in 1909. Then I applied for the U.S. Army in 1910. Then I married Mammy Geneva. Then on July the 1st, 1916, I became general. And then in 1941, I became 5-star general. Then I retired because I won the election for president. Yep, me of all people. I was also president of Columbia University. Then, I Like Ike campaign began, and I won the election for president again. And here's some facts about me. I never saw active combat. I was the first president to ride in a helicopter. I was the first president on colored TV. Then I died on March 28th, 1969 in Reed Hospital, but people still remember me today. They even named a library and a museum after me. And people still say, I like Ike. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ron Evans. I was born November 10th, 1933 at St. Francis. I was an engineer and got an aeronautic degree in engineering. I was a pilot for the USA during the Vietnam. I also had my fair share in scares with the Apollo 17 mission. And I spent the most time in lunar orbit than anyone else. I piloted the commander model that orbited the moon, while the other crew members landed on its surface. I got a degree in electric engineering from the University of Kansas. I retired from the Navy in 1976 after 21 years of service. I retired from NASA in 1977 and became a coal industry boss. Oh, and back in the Vietnam War, I was the Native Sons and Daughters Distinguished Kansan of the Year. The following year, I received the University of Kansas Distinguished Service Award. I was one of the original 19 men selected for the NASA space program. Also, I and my fellow astronauts conducted the last scheduled manned flight to the moon. I died of a heart attack in my sleep on April 7, 1990 in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Hello, my name is Milton Eisenhower. I was born on September 15th, 1899. I lived in Abilene, Kansas. My parents were Ida Stover and David Jacob Eisenhower. I attended public schools in Abilene, Kansas. I graduated from Kansas State University with a bachelor's degree. On October 27th, I married Helen Eakin. I had two amazing children, Ruth and Milton Jr. During World War II, I directed the movie War Relocation Authority. I wrote the book The Rule of Law in 1970, and The President is Calling in 1974. I was president of K-State from 1943 to 1950, Pennsylvania State from 1950 to 1954, and Johns Hopkins University in Maryland from 1956 to 1967, and again in 1971 to 1972. While I was president at K-State, I was against racism, and I tried to make it stop at K-State. I was president and advisor for 3 presidents, Richard Nixon, Harry Truman, and my big brother Dwight. I was assistant to U.S. Secretary of Agriculture under 3 presidents. I died at the age of 85 on May 2nd, 1985.
Hello, my name is the great James Nasus. I was born November 6, 1861, in Elmo, Ontario, Canada. My family tree goes back to the famous kin. My parents had 3 children. I was one of 3 children. My mother, Margaret Nainsmith, died, so did my dad, John Nainsmith, of typhoid fever. I was in the orphanage at 9 years old. I was adopted by my grandmother, Susanna Norwood, then by my uncle. At McGill University, I played football and soccer, and I got a bachelor's degree in physical education. I married Madhu Evelyn Sherman. I had 5 amazing children. I invented peach basket and basketball in Lawrence, Kansas. There is a Nainsmith Court now known as the Allen Fieldhouse. I died November 28, 1939, which was a sad day for my family.
Hello, my name is Eva Jesse. I was born on January 20th, 1895 in Coffeyville, Kansas, which is near the bottom of Kansas. My parents' names are Albert and Julia. They divorced when I was 3 years old. As an adult, I got married twice and divorced them both. I was a pioneer and I studied poetry and oratory. I also got at least 2 bachelor degrees. Three adjectives to describe me are skilled at singing, brave to stand up for myself, and determined to sing, and very talented. I ran a choir group called Eva Jessie Choir for men and women. Some jobs I had are being an actor, composer, singer, conductor, choral director, author, and poet. I went to Langston University in Langston, Oklahoma, and Western University in Quindare, Kansas. I published a book of songs called My Spirituals. I'm famous because I was the first black woman to win an award for being a professional singer. When I was 88, I walked with Martin Luther King Jr. in the March on Washington. I died at the age of 97 on February 21st, 1992.
Hello, my name is Teresa Cavaz. I was born December 2nd, 1920. I was born in Topeka, Kansas. I was one of 3 children. My parents fled to Kansas during the Mexican Revolution. I played the violin when I was 5. I got invited to the Topeka High School Symphony. My father worked close to the Santa Fe Railroad. I grew up close to the Santa Fe Railroad shop on Klein Street in Topeka, Kansas. I played mariachi music all over Kansas. I played mariachi estrella, which is music I got married to Inkadan Cavaz. After that, I had 5 children and then got divorced from Inkadan. Then got involved in music. My granddaughter still played mariachi music. In 1981, tragedy struck mariachi estrella when 4 of the members were killed in an unfortunate accident. Rachel, Galvin, and I were the 2 still alive. We were forced to still do the mariachi estrella. We reached out to younger members of our parish. We began the slow process of training new members. Rachel and I rebuilt the mariachi estrella. Mariachi estrella has fully rebuilt.
Hi, I'm Peggy Holduo. I was born at 1890, September 30th, in Bennington, Kansas. I had no siblings when I grew up. I changed my name from Henrietta Eleanor Gunnell to Peggy Hole Gunnell. I was married 3 times to fellow journalist George Hull in 1910, to E. Johnson Kinley in 1922. I was divorced to Hull and Kinley and widowed when Duell died in 1939. I worked typewriters for the Junction City Central.
Hi, my name is John Brown. I was born on May 9th, 18,000. I was born in Torrington, Connecticut. I'll tell you later why I'm famous in Kansas. I wanted to be a minister at first. I married twice and had 20 children. I moved to Ohio in 1937 and became a farmer. I moved to Osawatomie, Kansas in 1855. I was in Blaine, Kansas, and was hard working to end slavery in Kansas. In 1856, I moved to Harpers Ferry, Virginia. On December 2nd, 1959, I was hanged.
Happy Kansas Day!